I'm here today to talk about how I feel. And I feel like that we are treated differently than other people. And I don't like how we're treated. And just because of our color doesn't mean anything to me. I believe that
You're doing great. You're doing a great job.
Don't stop. Do not stop.
we are black people and we shouldn't have to feel like this. We shouldn't have to protest because y'all are treating us wrong. We do this because we need to and have rights.
Go ahead. Let her talk. Go ahead.
I've been born and raised in Charlotte, and I never felt this way till now. And I can't stand how we're treated. And it's a shame that our fathers and mothers are killed, and we can't even see them anymore.
That's right.
It's a shame that we have to go to the graveyard and bury them. And we have tears, and we shouldn't have tears. We need our fathers and mothers to be by our side.
So I have a word to America today. Black women are sick and tired of being sick and tired. We see what you think about us, that you believe it is acceptable to sexualize and attack us, that you don't believe it's worthy of mentioning, but more importantly, of condemning. So it makes them mad when I speak from the perspective of an African American living an African American experience. What can I say? I live the experience of a black woman who is attacked and over-sexualized.
You would think that black people have made financial progress over the last 160 years. But I have some news for you. We haven't. Yes, we have black billionaires now, like Robert Smith, Dave Stewart, Oprah, Michael Jordan, and they're killing it, man. And yes, the black middle class has also grown, but probably not in the ways that you think. You see, when the Emancipation Proclamation was signed in 1863, listen to this, the black community owned 0.5% of the wealth in the U.S. By the way, that is 0.5% of the wealth in the United States, which ain't a lot. Now, because slaves couldn't own anything, that's not surprising because black people, we didn't even have the opportunity to accumulate wealth back then. But you want to know something mind-blowing? Today, more than 160 years later, the percentage of wealth that black people own in the United States is, guess what? Guess how much? 1%. It has barely budged. So right now, today, black people only own about 1% of the total wealth in the United States. So it may seem like we've come a long way, and a select few really have. But collectively, we have barely moved the needle.
I'm not trying to ruffle any feathers or anything, but am I the only person, black African-American person, who remembers when anybody else who was a part of the African diaspora used to differentiate themselves from us? Like, oh, I'm not black, I'm Jamaican. I'm not black, I'm Haitian. I'm not black, I'm Panamanian. But now it's like, bro, we're all black. I don't know. It's like, now that we're on the forefront, which we've always been, but now that it's really trending, it's like, I don't know, they want to claim it as theirs. But before, they had to make sure that everybody knew that they were foreign and they were not like us.
Listen, I've never been more aware of my blackness until coming to America.
People who don't live in America legitimately do not understand how much race plays a part in like every aspect of your life. I was in an Uber one time and the Uber driver, who was a black man, asked me if I was mixed. And I said, yes, my dad's from Italy and my mom's American. And he looks at me in the rearview mirror and he goes, "You know you black, right?" And I was like, "Well, you asked if I was mixed." So I said, "I'm Italian American." And he pauses for a couple of seconds and he looks in the mirror again and he goes, "You black." Okay, like so what were you expecting when you asked me that question? Like, did you just want me to say like, yeah, I'm light skinned? I don't, like, what? And I was just reminded of the fact that when I moved to America, I had to stop thinking of myself as like métis, because in Senegal, we call mixed people métis, and that's just as valid of a race as either being black or white. And his comment to me just felt kind of like, okay, you may think you're mixed, but just remember, in this country, you are a black woman who is oppressed, and the white men will see you as a black woman and you will be treated as a black woman. And I was like, I live my own experience. Like I'm very much aware of how I interact with people in America. Like it just felt like such a random ass, I don't fucking know. But anyways, it makes sense why a lot of foreigners are like, why are Americans so obsessed with race? We are.
We have to reject the idea that our children will be so traumatized by the truth of our complicated American story that they can't bear it. You know, the script, forgive the preacher for quoting scripture, but Jesus said, "You shall know the truth and the truth will set you free." And all stories are complicated. All families have complicated stories. And so does the American family. And all of us have to push back against this idea that education is the enemy. All of us, red, yellow, brown, black, and white. This Black history is the American story. And that's why I wrote this book. I deal with the issue of race in this book, so I don't know if my book would be banned or not. But I'll tell you, as a dad, I was trying to figure out how to talk to my kids about what I know they will encounter. And I think I deal with it in a way that honors the legacy of my dad, who, as I talk about in the book, was he served in the Army during the World War II era, all stateside. And one day he was asked to give up his seat on a public bus while wearing his soldier's uniform. For some, the skin he was wearing was more important than the uniform he was wearing, and so he had to give up his seat. That's a part of the American story. But here's the other part of the American story. My dad had to give up his bus seat. Now I have a seat in the United States Senate, a kid who grew up in public housing.
I'm tired of being labeled. I'm an American. I'm not an African American. I'm an American.
Oh, girl, don't set up the Twitter on fire.
I'm sorry. I mean,
what?
I'm sorry.
My Lord. What did you just say? Stop the tape right now. Okay.
I will say this.
What?
I mean, I don't know where my roots go to. I don't know how far back they go. I can't go on, I don't know how far back, and I don't know what country in Africa I'm from. But I do know that my roots are in Louisiana. I'm an American. And that's a colorless person, because we're all people. I have lots of things running through my veins.
I mean, you're going to get a lot of flack for saying you're not African American. You know that, right?
I don't label myself.
Okay. So I want you to say what you really mean by that.
What I really mean by that is I'm an American. That's what I really mean. I have darker skin. I have a nice, interesting grade of hair. I connect with Caucasian. I connect with Asian. I connect with Black. I connect with Indian. I connect with each culture.
You are a melting pot in one body.
Aren't we all?
Yes.
Isn't that what America's supposed to be?
Yeah, that's what it's supposed to be.
That's what it's supposed to be. I personally feel that.
Last night I went to see Sinners for the second time. I'm embarrassed that it was just the second time, but me and my sister were in line at the concession stand. We were in the members line, and two little black girls were in the regular line. Now, there were 3 registers, and it was busy, and they were open, and we would have been the next one, even though the little black girls were there, because members get to go first. Anyway, this white couple walks up, and they passed the little black girls in the regular line. And at first I was going to say something. Then I saw the white woman went really close to the counter, and she was just looking at the menu. So I didn't say anything. I knew something was up, but I didn't say anything. So when a register was open, the guy goes, "Next guest in line." They walk up. They start talking, and I am like, "Excuse me." They keep talking. I'm like, "Excuse me." They keep talking. I said, excuse me, you are not next. There were 2 little black girls there. I got loud. I got loud because they were ignoring me. So they moved back. The white woman is clearly embarrassed, and she goes, well, they didn't say anything. She said it very nasty. And me and my sister quickly say, they're children. And they were teens. So they move back, and the 2 little black girls go up. So then another register opens up, and they say, the next guest in line, the white couple walks up again, and me and my sister both go, we were next. So then a white lady, she's clearly irritated, gestures like this, very nasty. And I just want to tell you, this is a reminder that 2 things here. They never see us, but they definitely don't see black children as children. Because if those were 2 white children, at the very least, they would have asked, are you next in line? Which clearly it was the line, so why wouldn't they be? They have the little barriers there, so you know they were in line. But they would have at least asked. But it goes to show you, they do not see us, and they do not see our children. And for her to be angry at the fact that I called her out twice because you acted like you didn't see us just infuriated me. I was seething for a few minutes. It took me a few minutes to calm down, but I was not going to let them treat those 2 little black girls like they didn't exist. And I damn sure was not going to let them not know that I existed.
What do you consider yourself today? Are you American? Are you African? Are you African American? What are you?
I'm an African raised in America, clearly.
So you're not American?
I wish I was, but my mind is not American. It's clearly African.
But you have the accent, you have,
I went to school in America. My whole earlier childhood, I was raised in Africa. Then I came to America. Every summer, we would go back to Africa for a vacation. And then when I graduated high school, it was a choice whether we wanted to go to Africa or stay in the U.S. And just the opportunities in the U.S. was so much greater than Africa.
Well, you're certainly the perfect example of the American dream coming true. And what would be your advice to a young African who's immigrating to the United States today?
Ultimately, you can't change who you are. And I think the biggest obstacle is that when people come to the U.S., they kind of alienate their original and they conform to what's there. And when you do that, first of all, you will never get accepted.
But isn't that the best way to integrate?
Absolutely not, because first of all, it's no way you can move forward and you're not you.